Okay, so today is gonna be super unedited because my hair is wet, husband is here, and we are getting ready to leave out of town, but I wanted to toss something up. So we're gonna talk about baby setups and the nursery that we, this whole situation. Talk to us about this whole situation.
All right, well, what we did was we bought 4x2s.
Of what kind?
They are Toad Ranch
Our favorites.
because we love them and they are so high quality and also gorgeous. But we got the 4x2s and then put dividers in them. And the reason that we did that is because...
That's what he's talking about. Dividers. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard to see, but yeah, 4x2x2 enclosure, little divider.
So it splits them into 2x2 cubes, but it also means that if a couple babies are with us a little bit longer, they get a little bit bigger, they need a little bit room, we just pop the divider out and now all of a sudden they go from a 2x2 into a 4x2.
So super easy switcheroo.
Yeah. The other thing that we did, this was Abby's idea, and it was spot on, was we put cliffhanger shelves in the corners.
Oh, that was my idea. I wasn't sure what he was gonna say.
Yeah, every single tank. And from day one, these babies have been loving these shelves.
Baby on a shelf. Baby on a shelf.
Mini Aries on a shelf.
Mini Aries on a shelf. This little one on a shelf is Etoile. That was our little prolapse baby. And she's doing wonderful and curled up next to our Goby. All right, what else do we want to share with the peoples about this very extra baby setup that we did?
Yeah, so the other thing that we did was we looked at possibly doing basking lights as their primary heat source. And we were just concerned that there was almost no way of really making that 100% safe. So we did...
So instead, we did...
radiant heat panels.
So these are the 40 watts?
40 watt.
Yeah, so 40 watt. So we have a 40 watt on each side. And then we also have the UV from VivTech. And then what did we do for, sorry, I'm blinding everyone, for that we have little UV strips.
Yeah.
Or not UV strips, sorry, LED strips.
Those LED strips we found on Amazon. They're on our Amazon storefront. They're really cool. They're actually designed to be under cabinet lights, like for under your kitchen cabinets. So they're really low profile. You can get them in sets of either 3 or 6, and then they just daisy chain together. So this whole stack is on one switch, and they're all set.
Yeah, and the nice thing about them is they don't get hot at all, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Like even where it connects, like it's so much easier to manage like the heat and the gradient and all of that stuff because the lights don't emit heat. Hi, cute boy. This is our little dude, baby drool for a second. He is very sweet, one, but he also has 2 different colored eyes. Can you show the peoples your different eyes? Because they're pretty awesome. He's like almost like, look, he's an anery, but he looks like he has a normal eye and an anery eye. Like what? What?
That's true. I guess last night we weren't sure if he was just fired up. But
Yeah.
now we came back down. He's still got 2 colored eyes.
2 different colored eyes. Buddy, that's pretty cool. We might have to keep you. I mean, we want to keep all of them.
They're all awesome.
They're all awesome. What would you like to show the people next?
What do we want to talk about next? So the other thing that I think is pretty cool that we found, I don't remember where we found these at this point. Maybe LLL Reptile?
Oh, I'm trying to do 2 things at once. This is why it's unedited, y'all. What did you find?
Okay, we found these
right.
at LLL Reptile. So, looked like
Water bowls.
a water bowl from this side,
It is a water bowl from that side.
but it also has hide openings on either side, so they can kind of use it as a hide as well as a water bowl.
And they do. They love to use those
They
as hides.
constantly.
Do you want to hit the lights and we can tour them through your cable organization? Because holy cables. Oh, yes. There we go. It looks pretty darn put together. That is 110% him because my brain does not do this.
So it looks more insane than it is because we have lights and fans. Oh, that's another thing we didn't talk about. There are electronics fans on one of the vents on every single one of these 2x2s.
Yeah. which is great because if it gets a little too humid in there, I don't know if you all can see, yeah, electronic fans, these guys, they're attached to like right outside of one of the vents, which is great because if it gets too humid, then we just kick the fans on and it drops the humidity down, which is wonderful. Okay, sorry.
So the reason that we have an enormous amount of cables is that we've got UV lights, we've got fans, and then we've got the LED lights in every single tank. And we wanted them on smart plugs. So
Well, really, we have 2 in every single tank because there's 1 for each little 2x2 section.
Right.
So there's 24 of that configuration total.
Now, the LEDs daisy chain, so there's only 1 plug for those, but then the UV and the fans, separate plug for every single one of them. We wanted them on smart plugs so that we could run timer routines if we wanted to kick them on, you know, all at once. We have like an election routine that will run the fans for just half an hour and then automatically shut them off.
And we can also turn them on and off when we're not at home,
home.
which is nice because I have OCD when it comes to my parameters for my animals.
Baby care is a good thing to have OCD.
Yeah.
But it would be super expensive to do a separate smart plug for every single one. So we got these stacks. These are 6 plug smart power strips. They are by Casa Smart. We've tried a bunch of these. These are absolutely my favorites. Everything else has just disconnected from our Wi-Fi periodically.
Say that brand one more time.
Casa Smart, K-A-S-A.
Casa
Also
Smart.
on our Amazon storefront.
Cool.
I really like them. But then what we did was we got splitters so that like this is stack 4, which is this one right here next to me. The left 2 plugs are for the top tank up here. The one on the left is the lights, the one on the right is the fans, and then the splitter is, this is the left tank lights and the right tank lights.
And he
then
has
over
them
here,
color coded.
Yep, the left
Yep.
tank fan, the right tank fan. So that if we need to trace a cable and know where we're going, we have everything labeled and kind of know where everything is.
All right, so Jody put together all of the tanks. It was his turn after I did stuff last year. So my job was to get all the tanks set up with Bioactive. So let me show you here. I'll just show you this is our whole back boy. So I did the substrate mix. If you're looking for how I mix my substrate and like what ratios and what I use for my substrate mix, I have a short. I will see if I can link that somewhere in this video. And then we have some neon pothos. We have neon pothos in some and neon philodendron, I think, and others. We have some cork bark, leaf litter. This little dude has a gophie. We have a gophie in each nursery stack. And then I just got some like snake plants to plant actually in the substrate, either snake plants or ZZ plants. You can see the ZZ plant on this side. And yeah, and isopods and springtails. And that's it. And they seem to truly enjoy, hi buddy, enjoy their little bioactives. Hi, I know I'm waking you up. I'm sorry. I want to show the people how pretty you are. And also show you that this is planted in a pot, just in case I need to move it. Come here, buddy. Come here. I know. It's like I was sleeping and I was cozy. But yeah, we can move them around or replant them or what have you, whenever we need. You still need a name, sir? Yeah. Hi. He's a little more shy, but he's very, very sweet. Okay. Carry on. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say one of the times when having those plants in pots was really handy was we kind of built our nursery stacks in phases where stacks 1 and 2 right there were built first, and then stacks 3 and 4 we didn't yet have the thermostats for, so we had all of the babies doubled up in stacks 1 and 2. And when we went to feed them, you know, they are babies, but they are still retics. They have food response.
It was a really good problem to have. They had excellent food response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also didn't want to leave them cohabbing while they were still in food mode, and we couldn't be watching them 100% of the time. So what we did was we pulled those potted plants out of the tanks, and we put one of the babies in a tub. And the tubs, of course, have, you know, holes cut in them for airflow, but then we put the tub in the tank. That way they were, you know, in temperature control for, you know, with the tank's thermostat. And they had nice, you know, humidity from the Bioactive, but we had, you know, just the physical separation between the two roommates so that we didn't have any kerfuffles. Yeah. So that was really handy to be able to just pop those plants out and not need to worry about replanting them later.
If anyone has name suggestions, put them in the comments.
This little dude is a platinum motley lavender snow.
He's got me handcuffed. My skin is all sticky against your scales. He's like, why can't Oop, clumsy. You dropped your butt. Can I help you? What if he smells cogs?
Oh, maybe.
I had cogs, the scrub python out. He was climbing around on my arms. Hi. Where are you heading?
Something that I didn't realize until we started having a bunch of snow babies was that snows
Really like noses?
well, one really like noses, but they also have a blushing that occasionally happens.
Mm-hmm. It freaked him out when he was taking pictures.
I know. I was taking photos. I was like, oh my gosh, is this baby, is this a burn? Were they climbing on their light? Is this a bruise? Did they fall?
It should be weird because the lights don't get hot, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, nope, it's just they get like blood flow to wherever there's slight pressure on their skin. Like same thing happens to me because my butt is real pale. But if I get like any sort of like pressure for any amount of time, it gets like that kind of rush of blood to that area and it blushes. So yeah, it's kind of funny to see you freak out. Oh no, what's wrong with this baby? Absolutely nothing.
Glad I could amuse you. One more thing I will point out is this. So, very simple platform stand that we have these tanks on, but we did it for a very specific reason. And that is a stack 3 tanks tall, very, very heavy. And there's the chance that we need to make a change of some sort. Even just if we need to pull the divider out, some of the dividers are actually screwed in through the back of the tank. We would need to be able to access the back of the tank, or if we need to rewire something or whatever the case. And it's really difficult to move a stack of 3 tanks. So what we actually did was...
These mofos are heavy.
Yeah, they are heavy, especially Bioactive. Mm-hmm. So what we did was we actually built these. You see these 4x4s are like weirdly spaced. That is actually because they're narrow enough so that we can get the tongs of a pallet jack underneath them.
Best purchase ever.
For sure, because Lord knows I did not wire everything right the first time, and we needed to go back and like we forgot what thermostat probe was to what thing, and I wired them backwards at one point. Very silly. So
you just never know when you're going to need to move a really heavy stack of enclosures. So instead of having to like literally take all the dirt out and take the things apart to move them
and unstack them, right?
Yeah, we literally just use a pallet jack, and it's brilliant. That was his idea.
Yep.
All the brilliant ideas are his. I'm not gonna lie.
All of the technology stuff is me. All of the animal care stuff is Abby.
Yeah, he's the brain. I'm like the caretaker. Like, obviously,
That's
over here in the background, freaking out about a snake. Well, freaking out in like a giddy way about a snake climbing on my face.
That's still brain. I will point that out. That's still smarts.
Fair enough.
It's just different topic area. So when we need to move one of those stacks out, all we do is come over here to this closet where we have our handy pallet jack, which is currently also holding our central vac hose. It's a big thing to have just chilling in your house. But if you have enough tanks that you...
This is what happens when you fill this with me.
Enough tanks that you might need to move them around, I highly recommend it. It makes making adjustments to stuff much easier. And then a little mistake, like wiring the thermostats backwards or whatever, is not an enormous problem.
All right, I think that's it. Did we miss anything?
I don't think so.
All right, cool. I still have a baby. He lummed me up the nose. It happens. So yeah, if this was helpful, if you liked this, if you want to support us in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe. That helps us out a ton. Leave a comment if you have a name for this little dude. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Did you just finger guns?
Yes.